Okay, looking like we good to go. Okay, we live. So let me make sure everything looking good. Okay, yes. So good night, everyone. Welcome again to the District 81 podcast. And I want to thank you for joining me and our guests on this, our second episode. This podcast, like I said last week, is to engage members, highlight achievements, and promote Toastmasters Month. It will be every Wednesday for the month of October. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing TM Mollie Plummer Henry, hailing all the way from Jamaica. Help me welcome TM Mollie, everyone. And don't forget, you
Good
could always
evening.
leave comments in the chat and we would be able to see your comments. So good evening, TM Mollie. How is everything?
Good evening, Toastmaster Oliver, and good evening to all those who are joining live. It's a great day here. Yes, I'm from Jamaica, currently in New Orleans, and it's a great day thus far. Yes, thanks for having me.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for coming on. I'm excited to connect with you for this podcast. And as I informed you and we had the flyer, the topic for today is members as a PR ambassador. I just want to show you our first comment from DTM Melushka. She say hi.
Hi, Malishka.
Yeah, before we really get into things, I would like you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. All right. So I am an international motivational speaker. I believe that, one must be able to achieve their full potential. And I am a government worker. I am also spiritually connected. I believe that everything that I do, I'm supposed to demonstrate Christ-like character. And I put God first in everything that I do. And I am a mother and I'm a wife. And I'm all about sharing my experience with persons because if I can achieve it, they too can achieve it once they put God in everything that they do. So, yes, that's just me in a nutshell.
Amen to that. Amen to that. I like that. And
Yes.
I just want to bring up this next comment from TM Tashi Brown. Say, ready, set for another power pack engagement. Trust and believe this is going to be another good one. So we're going to dive right into it. And I'm going to ask you, TM Mollie,
Yes.
what does being a PR ambassador mean to you in the context of Toastmasters, of course?
All right, so peer ambassador is the same as brand ambassador. And in the context of Toastmaster, it's all about living the Toastmaster core values. It's all about if it is that you say you are a person of integrity, you must live it, whether it's online or offline. If you say that you're a respectful person, then you must live it. You also must demonstrate what it is that you would have garnered from being a member of Toastmaster so that others too can see that and say, you know what, I want to be a member of Toastmaster. For me, Toastmaster International have done a tremendous job in my life by me being a member. I've seen where I've transformed, where I have gotten to network, know persons who have helped to embrace me and carry me on this journey and making me a better person. So I'm living the Toastmaster value. I'm living the Toastmaster dream. For me, I dream, sleep, eat Toastmaster. So that's what it means to be a PR brand, selling Toastmaster. And the best message for me is just a life that you live. You don't have to say, oh, I'm a Toastmaster. Persons will hear you and say, wow, you sound so articulate. Wow, I just like your energy. Tell me about it. And that's when you can say, you know what? It's all about Toastmaster. Yeah.
True, true. Basically, you're saying lead by example. And
Yes.
I find that ties very well into our interview last week with DTM English because basically she said a similar thing. Like sometimes you don't have to go out there and force people or try to beg people or anything. Like sometimes when you give your testimonial or you show people
Yes.
what you bring to the table, that itself does make
Mm-hmm.
people, inspire people and bring them and say, yeah, I have to or I should,
Mm-hmm.
move similar. I like that. I like that.
Definitely.
So my next question to you is, why is it important for every member to see themselves as a PR ambassador, not just the VPPR?
Yeah, because look at it this way, the VPPR can't be everywhere. And there's so much and little that the VPPR can do. But if each member decided, guess what? I am going to coat. So just as though you're coated, my life is coated by Christ, his righteousness. I'm coated, Toastmaster. I'm coated by the values of Toastmaster. And so when you go out there, your representation, and so each member ought to see themselves as a representation of Toastmaster by the very mean, because it's not just about when you're online that you demonstrate such, even offline in your job, in just your social gathering, wherever it is, you ought to sell Toastmaster by just showing up. And you show up by being your authentic self, being you and what Toastmasters has done for you. So you can just do about anything. The mere fact that you show up, the mere fact that you are somewhere and you can have those values quoted with your very being, then persons are going to gravitate and see it.
That's powerful. That is powerful. Like you see, like Tashi say, power pack. Yeah, that one powerful. You see, like just showing up.
Yeah.
Those few words, people don't know how powerful that is. Because
Yeah.
some people even afraid to just show up. But I like that and I agree because like the question said, some people might think, okay, only the VPPR should or would promote the
Mhm.
club, but it doesn't have to be like that. And
Mhm.
I find you give a simple example of how anybody could promote the club without even with no effort
Right.
or minimal. Let me say minimal.
Okay,
So,
so oh sorry,
huh?
go ahead. Sorry, go
Now I
ahead.
was
I thought
gonna say, what simple actions can members take to promote their club and Toastmasters in their daily lives?
all right. So first and foremost, the member or members first and foremost ought to know why it is that they join Toastmasters. And the mere fact that you say, okay, I want to improve on my communication skills or I want to improve on my leadership, public speaking, improve in how I do things. So when I enter a room, I'm supposed to make that wow statement, right? I enter, yes, I'm here. Toastmaster Mollie's in the room without even saying anything. Just the mere fact that I enter that room and I enter with confidence, mind you, not to be proud, not that kind of wow I'm talking about, but you exhume that air of confidence because of what Toastmaster would have done for you in terms of your confidence, able to engage. And so when it is that you go about your daily life, your daily activities, and in your workplace, the mere fact of how you project yourself, you're selling Toastmasters. The mere fact of how you greet person, because Toastmaster is not just about speech, not just about speech.
Yeah.
Toastmaster, because I'm showing up here now and the lights went. But that's all about being dynamic in Toastmasters, right? It's about
Yep.
engaging and it's about saying, guess what? We're always going to face with challenges, but we're not going to fall. We're going to be overcomers. And so when persons see you and how you operate and say, guess what? I wasn't like this. I was a shy person. And so look at me now. It's like the ad that says TVJ, look at me, even looking better. That's Toastmaster. That's the brand that you're selling right there. Toastmasters brand.
I love it. I could give you a few seconds to deal with that if you want.
Yes, please. I
Yeah.
do appreciate.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, while she does that, I'll just respond and say I totally agree. For sure, as we know, Toastmasters is a confidence booster, and it's not just about public speaking. But yeah, some people might think so, but I find that was a powerful response because at the end of the day, when you increase your confidence, you exude it and people see it and they wonder where it come from, like why he or she is so confident or their self-esteem is so high. You make people wonder, and when they wonder,
Yeah,
they themselves want to see, okay, how can I maybe mentor, be a mentee, So
definitely.
I agree wholeheartedly. Uh, I'll ask you, how can personal stories be more powerful than traditional marketing?
Let me tell you something. There's nothing for me that sells better than your own story. Because when you make up things, it's just like being a teacher and you're telling your students about, oh, London Bridge. They haven't got a clue because you have never lived it. And so you cannot have that feel. But when you take them down to your own personal story, your personal experience, then they can more relate to it. And so for me, I thought I was a great speaker before Toastmaster. And I had to learn that no, there are areas for improvement, but you have to be open. And so here it is. I can say to somebody, I was never like this. Mind you, based on my church and the background growing up in church and doing things every Sabbath, yes, I wasn't a shy person, but I wasn't someone that was very articulate in terms of pronunciation and how it is that you made that injection and all of that. Toastmaster helped me, my leadership skills, how it is that you communicate to persons, different audience. That's what Toastmasters have done. So I can walk into a room and I can say to persons, look, I wasn't like this. This is what happened, my experience in Toastmaster. And here it is, I am now, and I can share my experience and say to you, guess what? If I did it, you can do it too. And people can relate to it. And the fictitious kind of story that have nothing because there's no emotion to it because you never lived it. But when you have lived it and you can speak to it, then persons more accepting of it and believe your story.
Yep, totally agree. For me, testimonials over regular marketing always. Like I would be one of those business owners that rather have those organic content than those traditional ads because when, like you say, when you get that personal story,
Mm-hmm.
people could see themselves in that, they relate, and it resonates deeply with them that they feel like, like you say, I could do that too, or they could put themselves in our shoes. So
Definitely.
I agree. And I like the London Bridge example that you mentioned, but yeah, totally agree.
But
Like I say, for me
Toastmaster
personally,
Oliver, it's Toastmaster Oliver, and it's not just a hunky dory experience. You have to let them be open and understand that you must learn how to take constructive criticism as well, because you're going to hear things that are sometimes harsh. You don't want to hear it. But then when you step back a little and take your emotions out of it, you realize, you know what? This is for my own good. And actually, if I apply them, then I can be better at my craft. And can help me to elevate and move further. So you have to allow them to understand that there are going to be times when you're going to hit the rock bottom in terms of what you get. That is not going to be very pleasing. But you have to step back for a moment and take the emotions out of it.
yep, agreed,
Definitely.
agreed. Totally agree. So my next question would be, in your experience, what channels, whether social media, word of mouth, community events, etc., work best for members to spread the word about Toastmasters?
There are multiple of activities, I would say, that can be used. For me, word of mouth is good. On my social media pages, you can use social media as well, whether it's going to be your Facebook, your WhatsApp status. I sell Toastmaster everywhere at every event that I go. A little bit of Toastmaster is incorporated in there. just the mere fact of my effective communication, even at work. I apply it. I would say to them, look, incorporate Toastmasters as part of our training manual or training plan so that each new employee, they have to go through the Toastmasters program. Because at the end of the day, you want them to be the brand of your organization or agency. And if they don't have the required skills, then how it is that they're going to live the dream of your organization or agency. Because if you have someone that can't represent you well in how they communicate, then that's going to give you a low score. But then if you have someone that's very good in terms of their improvement in their communication skills and their public speaking, have you ever heard a leader that uses the and by the time you're through, you don't even get the message?
Yeah.
That can dampen any organization or create that kind of negative effect. And so you live it and you promote Toastmaster in everything that you do. You can hear somebody speaking and you say, you know what? You have a great voice. And I know an organization that can help to elevate you to the next level. Because some persons have a good voice, but they are not great at using it. But you don't want to be the negative. So you're going to say, guess what? You have a great voice. But I know an organization that can help to move you to the next level. And that's Toastmaster. And they'll be like, tell me about this Toastmaster. And you start by saying, guess what? I am a Toastmaster. And this is what it has done. So word of mouth is good, always good, because you have that intimate conversation, relationship going on, that intimate dialogue with somebody, and you're saying to them, guess what? This is it. So that's good, especially for persons who don't like to be highlighted or like to be called out in big gathering. So that word of mouth is good. And then whenever you go to do any presentation, just hashtag Toastmasters. I'm an international Toastmaster. And everybody like, whoa, Toastmaster. Tell me a little bit about this. So there are various initiatives or there are various platforms that one can use to promote. For me, it works good with small group, large group, and even when I'm doing online sessions, it works. So it doesn't have to be this big thing, big flyer, and you're gone all out. No, you can do simple things and it helps to promote. Because I always say, for each one, reach one, then we can do great things.
Yep. So true. So true. And like how you say that, it make me think back on a short pitch I had to do a few months ago, and I was given, like 5 minutes, and like when I finished, it was like right before the alarm went off, and I was like, yeah, Toastmasters. So like, in between, like you say, here and there, you promote it by just living it.
Exactly.
And I just want to pause to share some of the comments. So Milushka, DTM Milushka said, dream, sleep, eat Toastmasters. Yemtashi said, live it. Always be ready to sell when people commend your skills that you gained in Toastmasters. I agree.
Definitely agree with both.
And then
Yes.
DTM Milushka said again, each one reach one, like he said. And then we have TM Corville, who said, this is so motivating. So just a little motivation for you
Yes. And
to
I'm glad
listen
that
out.
DT Carville is there because guess what? When I mention just show up, those are persons, DTM Milishka, DD Tashi, DTM Carville, they showed up. And when you listen at their skills that they would have no garnered and they're no master at it, you sit back and you say, wow, I just want to be like that. So the very fact of showing up does great things. Persons have to show up. You can't want water and you're not prepared to go to the well for it. You have to show up. And at the end of the day as well, someone has to see that, guess what? There's a skill within me that needs to be developed. Can I tell you, all of us were given great talents God has given us great talent. Some persons don't know. And it takes someone to say, that is your talent that you're given. And this is how you can master at it and develop it and make it to be that selling point that others too can embrace and want to be like that. So the mere fact, I love the thing about showing up. You have to show up. You have to know what it is that you want and how you go about it. Because I can be selling you Toastmaster, but if you don't see that there is a need, it defeats the whole purpose.
So true, and I love it too because, like you say, you got to show up. You have to
Mm-hmm,
be that example if you want, to be a leader or you know, be a mentor, be a coach or anything
mm-hmm,
of that nature. If you going down that road, you have to show up because other people depending on you. Other people, you
exactly.
might not even know that
Mm-hmm,
people observing you or have
mm-hmm.
you as a role model, but they do. So the moment you don't show up, that's a demotivation for them, and then they themselves, But
Yes.
my next question for you would be, how does strong PR from members specifically help with recruitment and retention?
It helps greatly because I can tell you if you have, say, for example, you're in an organization that has over 500 members, staff member that is, and you have a strong PR system, it doesn't have to be something that you have to go out and be expensive. It can be a mere fact of a lunch hour video or a lunch hour dialogue, and it can just be between two persons. And you're having that conversation. It could even be over the intercom. You can also have like your road show that doesn't cost much. You know that relay leg? For example, in my organization, which is a passport immigration citizenship agency, we're all over Jamaica and our Toastmasters member are all over. And so online works best for us. So if it is that I want others to know about Toastmaster, we can do what we call a relay leg. So I can start in Kingston and I can say, okay, this is what Toastmasters done. And I pass the baton on to the person in Portland and say, you grab that leg. So I've already done what Toastmaster, the benefits have done for me. Your leg is to talk about your experience of being a member of Toastmaster. Then you pass the baton on to the next person that's a member. And you see how PR gets around and persons, and you video that and you can put that on the intranet so that persons are able to see. And that's promotion. That's PR right there, selling Toastmaster by just being the relay like initiative that you're going to use or activity without not costing. Because at the end of the day, we look at budget, we look at costing, how it is that we can navigate around all the various expensive, but that didn't cost anything because you're just using your phone and just probably another person and doing the relay leg. And that's how it is that you can promote Toastmaster. That's just one activity.
I like that. I like that. I never think about that. I guess because St. Martin small, but that's that's a good that's a good strategy to use, and it actually get me thinking. I like that answer, but it made me think about, like, for me, I feel like a simple way to promote Toastmasters is just by providing, let me say, recording your speeches
Mm-hmm.
and posting it on your social media,
Yeah, but
or
the thing is
maybe
this,
even if,
Orville. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, or even if your club has a page, then maybe
Mm-hmm.
you could talk to, your PR team about getting it on the page, or collaborating. But all of that is good
Mm-hmm.
promotion too, because people would see your speech and then maybe it would resonate well with them and they would feel like, hey, I would like
Mm-hmm.
to go and visit. So all that's good promotion. But you was gonna say,
Yes, I was just going to say that one of the things that we have to learn to do is to understand our audience
mhm,
and what it is that works well. A lot of persons will shy away from it because they think, oh God, I can't speak like this person, or I'm nervous. It's nerve-wracking. And so you don't want to just thrust a speech thing to them because they say, oh my God, you got it long time. They didn't know the journey. They only see the end result, but they didn't see the journey that got you there. But when it is that person, and as you mentioned, that intimate feeling to know that your experience and you're able to speak about your experience, then
Mhm.
that will resonate. If I'm going to do in terms of management, the management, executive management team, and I want to introduce Toastmaster to them, the first thing that I would look at is that of public speaking, because each director have that communication strategy where they can represent the agency. So I'm going to bring to them being a public speaker, executive managers doing public speaking. I would now pivot on that aspect of it. So once again, you have to think about your audience
Yep.
and
Like
what's
target.
best works best. Yes, and then you now know, okay, what is it that I'm going to use to
Hmm. Hmm.
pitch Toastmaster to them, because some persons think that Toastmaster is all about speeches.
Yep.
You have to write your speech, you have to do this, and person's going to criticize you, and maybe somewhere along their life, because you have persons with low self-esteem because of what they would have experienced in their early years. Maybe somebody shouted you'll never be anything, or you can't talk properly, and so they've always shied away from that. But then the minute you found, or you notice something positive about them, you can say, guess what, you can improve on this. And I know just the right club that can help. And they start to feel the welcome, and they start to feel like a family. And then you can, gradually bring them to that place where they have the total package.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like that. I like that. Total package. And yeah, so what you say too really resonates with something you said earlier too. But bottom line, like you say, it is a journey, and people need to see that journey of growth. It's see, even TM Tashi said it is so important to let people know that journey of growth. It is
Yes.
because yeah, like you said, people feel like it's only about speeches, but
Yeah.
it's a lot more than that. And that's why, as Toastmasters, too, as members, as the club, we need to promote and show
Hmm.
people what it's about outside of that, because it's about confidence. It's not just about public speaking. Let me just say like that. It's about
Yeah.
personal growth. Let me just
Yes.
put it like that, simply put. So, since we talk about shyness, I'll ask you, what advice would you give members who feel shy about promoting their club?
The first thing I would say to someone who feels shy about promoting their club is, tell me one thing. Just tell me one thing that Toastmasters have done for you. Just give me that one thing that you can pinpoint. And the person might have said, okay, I can see where Toastmaster would have done this for me. I said, okay, if it is that you can tell somebody about that journey, would you be prepared to let the person know about this? Because at the end of the day, persons think that you have to have this big win in order to promote. So it has to be something major. It has to be something that is a wow, no. It can be a simple thing as my confidence, being this confident me. And you can say, guess what? Just tell somebody about it. Just find that one person who you think you share similarity with, and tell them what Toastmaster would have done for you, and just bring them along. It's like tagging. I'm tagging my person. And so, yes, I find someone that I can tag with, I can pair with, that need that transformation, that needs that change. And I'm going to bring the person over. It doesn't have to be this wow thing like, oh, I have to be a leader, or I have to have some roles and responsibility in order to promote Toastmasters. No, the mere fact that you are a member and you have seen changes, just tag somebody that you think need to see this change as well in their life. That's how you promote Toastmasters.
I like that. I like how you say tag a next person. Like you say, each one, reach one. But that
Yes.
ties in very well with how you say about the relay. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I get the baton now and I pass it on to you, and then you can pass it on to somebody. And by the
Exactly.
time we look back, we have a whole group of Toastmasters members that are, available. I allowed you some time to go and get things arranged on your end. But yeah, tell us, yes, leave us know if you enjoying this interview so far. We have a few more questions, but it looks like, you see, ETM Elushka said again, I love it. You don't have to be a leader to promote Toastmasters. Every member can promote. Exactly. Exactly. Like you said, just show up. Just by showing up
Yeah.
and showing that confidence and that positivity. I guess I should say that charisma.
Yes.
People see that and they say, wow, how can I be like that? Because like you say, some persons, whatever it be, maybe past traumas or past experiences, they maybe shy away from being in the spotlight, being in front of persons, but with the right environment, they could get past those feelings and actually become someone that able to go out and be on a stage and speak in front of groups of people and just bottom line grow as
Mhm.
a personal growth, grow
Yeah.
past these negatives and traumas and all the things that hold us back, like you say,
Mhm.
finding our purpose and living in it.
Mhm. Definitely.
Well, I'll say, let me ask you, if every member of Toastmasters District 81 became a PR ambassador tomorrow, what would that look like in your opinion?
This would be massive. And so you wouldn't have to be saying to persons, you got to pay your dues. You wouldn't have to be doing so many things. Because guess what? If each one again just do their own little work in their own little cube, as you want of a better work, or their own little area, and spread the word, can you imagine what membership would look like? Everyone would be a member of Toastmasters because they would have seen the benefits of Toastmasters, and they'll be like, okay, I want to be a member of this club. We wouldn't be able to have space to hold all these members if each member would just take on that PR role. And as a matter of fact, in terms of our image as well, persons would now see that Toastmasters is all about elevation, taking you to that next level of your career. Because for me, it's not just about, yes, improve communication, public speaking, leadership skills, but what about the networking? I meet persons that in the same field as I am, and I can learn as well, craft my own little area and be the best version of me in my professional scheme. You also network where you can say, okay, say for example, your spiritual growth, I can go and do presentation at this congregation. So if each one of us actually sell Toastmasters and be that PR ambassador, then would have done what it is that we're called to do, to be honest, because we would have so many members and many persons would now be able to achieve their full potential. They'll be able to know, own their craft, be the best version of themselves and the purpose that God has given for them. They'll be able to live it if we all do what we ought to be doing.
Into that, I can't even say nothing in response to that. That was so well said that have me speechless on a response. I love that though. I love that. And yeah, I totally agree for sure. Not just public speaking and
Mhm.
leadership, but yeah, just personal growth. Like when you look back and you see how far you have come, you yourself would say, wow, I would have never expected that I could
Mhm.
have reached here or done that or, been this person. Like you
Yes.
said, it's about elevating yourself, not
Mhm.
just personally, but also professionally, networking possibilities. Look, I'm here able to talk to you. And imagine I'm in St. Martin. You're from Jamaica, but not even in Jamaica currently. So it's like, networking for sure. And especially with the invention of technology and how far we have come today in this age in 2025 is a blessing that
Yes.
we have all of these tools and opportunities at our fingertips.
Hmm.
Amazing. I would like to ask you to give me a final piece of encouragement for members about sharing their Toastmasters story.
If you go to Chick-fil-A and you get a nice salad, because I'm craving Chick-fil-A right now, and you get that nice salad, and when you have it, you say to yourself, wow, mm, this is the best salad I've had. You don't want to keep that to yourself. You're going to put on your status, wow, I'm here and I've had Chick-fil-A and it's the best Chick-fil-A. And you might want to even share a picture about Chick-fil-A on your page. And especially many of us as female, everything we put on our status because we want persons to know. It's the same about Toastmasters and its journey. And I would say to anyone, when you have accomplished all there is to accomplish, when you have seen yourself on a journey and you have seen growth, you don't want to keep that to yourself. You want others to know your story, how you got here. Because at the end of the day, in your professional sphere of life, I'm a leader. I've always said to myself, I must be empowering my staff that one day they can sit in the chair that I'm sitting. And the only way I can do that is by bringing them to share on this journey and just being my authentic self, nobody else but me, because there can only be one Mollie Plummer Henry. My journey, my story will be different from yours, Toastmaster Oliver. But we all got to the same place. We're all distinguished in our own field. We have all accomplished the goals that we had set out to accomplish. You might have gotten there quicker than I am, or I have been. But at the end of the day, we get there. So it's for me to let others know that here it is, what Toastmasters have done for me. And I want you to experience it because it's not about being selfish. For me, Toastmaster is like a family. We're all a family. And in every family, you want your members to grow, to develop, to be the best that they can be. So I can't keep that excitement to myself. I'm always a passionate person because I believe in the vision. I believe in the mandate of Toastmaster. I'm not going to join something. I don't see anyone would want to join a club or an organization and it's not doing anything for them. I'm just going to join it because you're a member Toastmaster, Oliver. I joined Toastmaster because I saw what Toastmasters would have done for others. And I wanted not to be like them. No, I wanted to improve and to develop my own craft. And here is access to that. And I'm surrounded by persons who can grant me that access so that I can own my craft. Then, owning my craft, I can't keep still. I can't keep silent. I'm going to have to tell others. So, every stage that I've stepped on, when they introduce me, they better put that I'm a Toastmaster in my introduction because I want persons to know I belong to an organization that has pivot. Allow me to be over Blue Mountain. I've never climbed Blue Mountain, but experience that I have gained feels like I have climbed Blue Mountain. And I'm excited about it. I can't keep still. When the lady was healed, or the woman at the well, when she heard when Jesus forgave her, she left Jesus at the well and she went to tell everyone, come see a man. I'm saying, come see Toastmaster, because this is what Toastmasters have done for me. And I'm grateful for the network. I'm grateful for persons that I have met virtually and then I've met them in person. And tell you something, one day I met DTM Roger Caesar. He was a third winner and he stepped at that international stage. One day I'm going to step on that stage too, because that's what I have for myself. And I'm not only stepping there, I'm taking others with me on the journey. So I can't keep still. I'm sorry, I can't keep still.
Wow, 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 wow. That was powerful. Powerful. Wow. Look, I laugh when you say about like when you say Chick-fil-A, like when is going but I love that analogy. I love that analogy so much because you're so right. Like we promote everything else we do. We buy a new shoe, we want to promote it. We go on a trip, we want to promote it. Why not promote Toastmasters too? Yeah,
Exactly.
promote your growth, promote your personal growth. I
Yes.
honestly, that was so great. But we have one more question in the chat. I have to bring it up. So TM Rodney Ramdon said, what other way can you get others motivated to do stuff if they're afraid to take the first step?
First and foremost, I would tell anyone, face your fear. Look fear in the face. I know it's easier said than done, because you have some persons that really, really have a phobia. They are afraid to take that first step. I am not going to leave them. I'm holding their hand. Sometimes you just have to be there, coach the person. You might have to just pat the person on the shoulder and say, I'll stand here with you. Have you ever been to a funeral and the person is up there to give a tribute or to even do the eulogy? And because of who the person is to them that have passed, they can't. You're emotionally wind up. But the mere fact that they have somebody standing beside them and touching them and say, you can do this. I've got you. That's what some persons just need to know. I've got you. You can do this. And you help them along the way. You can't do it for them, but you can guide them. So, Rodney, it's easier said than done, as I've said. And persons are really, really afraid. But I will say to anyone, to get you to be motivated, get a mirror. Look in the mirror. Face that fear. You know how many times I've had speeches to be get done and I'm standing in front of my mirror, think I'm going mad. I doing my speech in front of my mirror and I'm finished. I said, oh, Molly, how was that? And I'm saying to myself, you better not answer yourself, because the minute you answer yourself, you're gone. Well, gone. But I am the worst critique because I'm so hard on myself sometimes. I'm the
I
worst
just
critique there is,
I
because I
just
will
say
say,
I'm my biggest critic. Yeah, I am my biggest critic. Yeah, yep,
yes,
yep.
but
Facts.
just do it in front of a small audience or in front of one person, that fear that you have. And trust me, by you doing it in front of one and the person give you that, positive critique and, guide you along, then you move it into another smaller group, because that's how you face your fear. You just got to face your fear and just step out there and do it.
Yeah, yeah. I totally agree. Even DTM Tashi said action is the death of fear. And man, I could not say better. That should be like a quote if it ain't one already.
Yes.
So well said. Because even in my life, I've seen whereas, maybe you might be fearful of something and you just tell yourself, I gonna go for it. And you do it. And then you look back and you said, man, what was I really afraid of? You know? Like I say sometimes now I laugh in the face of adversity because you yeah, it don't make no sense to stand up there in fear. You just figure it
Mhm.
out. But anyways, enough about that. DTM, TTM Molly, sorry. It was
Yes.
a great interview. You see, I give you DTM.
I'm
I
almost
want,
there.
okay, good. So we speaking it into existence. I just want to show this chat comment from DTM Tashi too, who said Mali is a natural ambassador. And I agree. You surely showed them that passion today. And I really hope the other person's viewing could feel
Mhm.
it and are inspired by the words that was shared today. Because trust me, I was inspired by the things you say. I don't know about nobody else. Like, I think I gotta go back and watch this as a viewer now, just to like really soak it in because great stuff, great stuff, great stuff. So I
Thank-
thank you. I have
Yes.
to thank you once again for joining me on this podcast, the District 81 podcast. Like I say earlier, the goal of this podcast is to inspire,
Hmm.
educate, and provide value to members and non members alike by
Hmm.
highlighting key Toastmasters teams, leadership, insight, and skill development. I hope everybody enjoyed this interview. I surely did. As I said, we're going to be here every week for the month of October with some great topics, such as what we went through today. If you enjoy this one, I believe I'm going to see you here next week. But just know, next week's episode is going to be a little later. So bear with us. We have interviewee in a whole different part of the world. So, like how we talk about networking, man, you're going to see networking next week. Wait. So, just be expective of the fact that next week's episode will be 8 p.m. instead of 7 p.m. to accommodate all of us. But just know, today we had a great topic, which is members as PR ambassadors. Once again, I would like to thank you, TM Mollie, for this great, I show impactful interview. And yeah, just know more great interviews to come. You wouldn't want to miss it. Catch me here again next week with another guest as we touch on our next topic. Before I go, I just have to say thank you to our viewers who came on, been so interactive and engaged. You see, DTM Milushka said, oh yes, TM Mali was amazing, was awesome. Yeah, I agree. And I have to thank DTM Tashi. She said, my interviewing skills is a testimony of what Toastmasters can do. And I could
I
agree
agree. I
wholeheartedly.
agree.
I
Yes, I agree.
appreciate that statement and that sentiment. And the most I'll say is, I tried.
You're
But yeah,
great.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But yes, I hope you guys have a great rest of the night. Stay blessed and catch you all here next week with another one. Have a blessed one.
Thank you again, Oliver. Bye.
See you guys. Bye.